Are you finding yourself stuck in a loop? And I'm bringing this up because I'm noticing this a lot with my coaching clients is that they really want to do something, they get ready, and then they're stuck. And they call me and they're like, Alicia, I just can't get it done. Is this you? Like, are you overthinking everything? Are you over-researching everything? I kind of saw this actually on a TikTok. It said, all neurodivergent people have to research everything and anything about, it's just part of who they are. So if that's you, I'm calling you out. You're like a lot of people actually, because all that research and overthinking is causing more indecision because you get overwhelmed with all of the options because you feel so overwhelmed with everything you need to do instead of just taking that one little step. And then the fear, which blocks us from doing anything, it makes you paralyzed. It's kind of like, you know, when you see those squirrels that go like this on the road, back and forth, and then it's like they're frozen and looking at you like, don't hit me, and then you hit them. That's the paralysis we're talking about. I'm giving that visualization because it's horrible, but you have to break that cycle and reclaim your power of like, you get to decide, you get to take that action and get over the fact that it may not be perfect. It probably won't. 100% of the time it won't be. And that's okay. The channel is about empowering you. Okay. It's Empower One with Alicia. And this video in particular is about breaking free from analysis paralysis. And I love that little play on words because it's exactly what it is. All that analyzing, all that researching, all that studying, all that investigating is paralyzing you from moving forward. How do you make the confident decision as a woman to move forward in your life and all the things that you say you want, right? Instead of just saying, I woulda, coulda, shoulda, and then I got stuck. And then someone else took the idea and ran with it. Can't have me tell you times, oh, that's happened. And the biggest thing is why it affects women differently is I think women so much want everything to be perfect. I was telling my daughter, gosh, I remember being in my early 30s after having 2 kids and wanting to look like these women in the magazines. Like these women, I swear they would come out of having a baby and be like all svelte and makeup and hair and looking amazing. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I looked like a homeless person. And it was really hard to try to even take a shower. You can't remember one time I went in the shower and I came out and I literally had to have a thought that I think I forgot to wash my hair. And I was like, did I wash my hair? I couldn't remember. And I think I didn't. So I had to go back and do that again because I was so tired. How many people does this resonate with? Like, I'm sure if you're a mom, you've gone through that. Just the sleep deprivation and trying to survive and you got this extra weight and you're trying to breastfeed. Oh, that's a whole nother story if you are a mom. And I think for myself, it was about having the awareness to know that I was the one keeping myself from moving forward in the things I wanted, that I said I wanted, because I had so much fear and I wanted to study everything and be perfect to do everything correct. And because I didn't think I could be perfect, I'd find every excuse in the book of why I couldn't do something. Like, oh, I need to research that. I need to study this. I need to get that certification. I need to do this. I need to do this before I can move forward. And what I noticed is that when I ever think about things, it does cost time, and time is the most valuable asset. We've all decided that and agreed upon that, right? And energy. Gosh, all that looping and running and all the scenarios and what if this happens and what if that. My husband even says to me recently, he's like, stop with all the crazy, like, you don't know all these things are going to happen. So don't overanalyze it and don't anticipate something that may or may not ever happen. It's too much energy and too much work. And I caught myself when he said that. I was like, wow, I am doing that. So do you do that? Like, this is a personal story. And that's why I'm talking about analysis by paralysis, because everyone goes through a form of it, but can you overcome it to get the things that you say you want in life? I'm kind of struggling with that right now in my energy healing classes with pranic healing, because I'm supposed to be doing like sensitizing every day and scanning and cleaning and doing all these things every day, plus doing the modules and the reading. And that's all on top of coaching agents and doing the real estate business and being a mom and shooting video and doing all the things and trying to work out and stay healthy and then, right? I'm sure you have the same list in different ways. And I found that because it wasn't perfect, I was really beating myself up on, oh, since I can't do all of the healing stuff, I'm not going to do any of it. And what I realized is even if I just practice a little bit, just like cutting cords here and there and the intentions there, or doing the meditation or practicing the scanning or reading the book, all of those things are little baby steps towards the goal of what I want to be for the certification, to do it as part of what I'm doing now in my career. I realized that like only I am the one that's blocking it. There's a hidden emotional root of indecision, why you make indecision and why you're not deciding. And a lot of it's fear. The fear of judgment is probably the biggest thing I think keeps people from moving forward. That's the number one thing I know why people don't do video, because their hair's not perfect, their voice is not perfect, I don't like the way they sound or look, or it's not the right lighting. You find every excuse in the book. So you buy all the high-tech equipment and all the things, and you keep all these reasons why, well, I need a professional videographer, or I need someone to edit it. it keeps you from moving forward. And that was me even starting this channel. And I'm like over a year in now of doing 2 long form videos a week. And I've added doing reels or YouTube shorts because they take it from the video, and I found a great editor. But I shoot these. Like, I'm shooting this right now in my room with my lighting and my camera, and then I send the raw video to my editor, because I realized if I was going to wait for a videographer to come and shoot me, I would feel the judgment of him looking at me. And I knew that I would have nervousness to go over topics and be authentic to myself because I would have someone looking at me. And so knowing myself and having that awareness, I knew that. So in order for me to execute and really fulfill what I wanted to, I was also going to have to film where it fit in. So sometimes it's at night. Sometimes it's on the weekend. Sometimes it's just in between things. On like today's afternoon that people canceled remote coaching calls, I'm like, yes, I can actually film some videos here. You're catching me in real time. It's amazing. And I do like to batch them in topics, and I do researching and all the things that go involved. So I'm doing the work and taking the action, and I'm doing it. But let me tell you something. This is a channel I've been working on now probably for 5 years. And I finally decided to do it last year. And I realized all those years I wasted because I couldn't decide what to do and get going. So that is my lesson learned. And the fear of failure, I don't think I fear failure as much personally, but I know so many people do. So that is a legitimate thing, that you don't want to fail. And I think we've gotten in this culture a little bit more tolerant of failure, almost celebratory of it, which is great. The Spanx creator, Sarah Blakely, I just think she's amazing. She talks about it. Like, she said she would come home where she grew up, her dad would make them fail at something every day. Like, if they didn't report back to something they failed, that then they got in trouble or something like that at their family dinner. How awesome is that, to have a family that supports failure? Because in those failures, you learn the most, you grow the most, and you find out it doesn't work, which is one step closer to your success. But we look at failure differently because of that. And I think also a lot of people also hide the emotional shift of rooting of why you don't make decisions too, because you have this identity shift, like you're in the in-between. I know we've done videos on that. I probably need to do more about when you're letting go of the old version of yourself or shedding that version, and you still haven't reached that next version. There's that imposter syndrome, was what they called, of like not feeling that you're good enough to do the things that you want to do. So you just won't do them because I'm not good enough yet, right? So that's what that would mean. So if any of those things resonate with you, I would challenge you to really have awareness, self-awareness, and look at that and say, is this what I'm doing to keep me from getting what I say I want? Because that is analysis paralysis, right? And the tools you can use to move forward this is a great 24-hour rule. So if you have an idea and you want to do it within 24 hours is my guess. In 24 hours, take action. Put it on your calendar, get it done, one step forward. Because I feel like in the one step forward, make the phone call to book the appointment, set up the script if you want to shoot a video, or do a raw edit, just do the video really quick, and then you can go back and redo it. But I think in the action of actually doing something, like if you're trying to be fit, go for a walk. I ordered a weighted vest. That was one action I took, because I'm trying to get more weightlifting in as I'm getting older, and then I hurt my knee. But that's another story. And, it's basically asking yourself too, what's the worst case scenario? So if I get it done, if you ask yourself, like, what is the worst case scenario? And I actually do this with clients now too, with real estate clients, with, what they're like freaking out about a deal not going through. I'm like, what's the worst case scenario? We start over again. We get another client. It's going to be fine. If you have a listing, we'll fix the things that they don't want, that's coming up that we can't resolve, and then put it back on market. It's going to be fine. And I think if you have that attitude of everything's going to be fine and work out, this is the worst case. So you've called the ugly baby out. It can't be any worse than it is, versus like blowing this thing in your mind up that's like this huge monster boogeyman that's not even real. That's a really big key. Okay. Intuitive muscle building is really important too, is like, I think allowing your inner voice, your soul, who you truly are, to speak and hear it. Because there's something that we learn in healing, is that we are made up of our mental body, which is our mind, our emotional body, which is the feelings and emotions, all the things that take over and kind of create something, and our physical body, which we can touch, right? Our physical body. But we are the soul. The soul is separate of those three things. And sometimes we allow those things to take over in decision making and taking over our life, and trumping and quieting what our soul really wants. So that sometimes you have that whispering that keeps coming up. That's your soul speaking to you. So what does your soul say is the question. If you're quiet and still, that's why I say meditate, be quiet and still. What do you want? And sometimes we don't want to be with our thoughts because it's the mental body going over and over. If we can quiet that, what does your soul want? There's a lot of messaging there. And can you just take one step forward and give yourself grace to do that would be key. I think one of the things would be to journal. I've started some free-flowing journaling, which has really helped me, but my ADD, ADHD, whatever you want to call it, cuckoo, I find that I'm much more of a spitballer. talking it out, working things out is much better for me. But I do like to write because it gets things out of my head. Just random thoughts. Just write what you want. Let it flow. Don't judge it. Just write it out and get it out on paper. It helps you sort through it. And it also helps you realize maybe what you want or don't want, or maybe it's something just in a thought, or it's just an emotional moment you're having, a hormonal moment if you're a woman. We have a lot of those these days. And, why you have to have the concept of letting all that out of you is an exercise to do every day. I try to journal 2 pages worth, just like on and on and on and on, whatever's in my head, because it gets it all out so that I'm clearer to make decisions for myself. And there's a concept of done is better than perfect. And I've learned that over and over again from multiple people. Tom Ferry, who's our head coach at Ferry International, talks about it all the time when he's trying to get assistants or people to help you do mundane tasks. And we get obsessed about it being done a certain way. And what it comes down to is it doesn't matter who does it, long as it's done. And sometimes it's not perfect, but it's okay because it's done. So give yourself permission to not be perfect, just to get it done. Because in the action of doing it and doing it and doing it, you'll get better and better and better. Like shooting a video, you're not going to be great the first video. You're probably going to suck, because I know I did. And I'm hoping my videos are getting better. You'll have to tell me and comment below if you think they're getting better, but I'm getting more comfortable and I'm having conversations. I feel like I'm talking to a friend versus like this red light looking at me and how terrified I am. And it's really important. And you have to give yourself permission to pivot. We talked about in the past, like if you go one path and you're like skipping down the road and you're like, this is the wrong path. You are okay if you turn around and go the other way. Give yourself permission to go the other way. Give yourself permission to be like, I tried that, I didn't like it, I'm going to do next. Give yourself permission to test. There's marketing. There's A/B testing. Test. Just because you're testing and you lose doesn't mean you lose. It means you learn and you move on to the next, right? So that's something that you need to do. You're allowed to change your mind. Give yourself permission. If you do that, you may try things more, because you don't feel like you have to marry something and you don't have to let it go. So that's really huge. And the biggest thing is that, you have something called capacity of making decisions during the day. And that is why, at the end of the day, I think some people have a hard time figuring out what they want to eat. It's very simple, because you've made decisions all day long. And so you may have decision fatigue too, if you're constantly running things in your head over and over and over and doing analysis by paralysis instead of taking action, because you're using up your decision making on those things that don't really matter. So there's some of the things to think about. So if any of these ideas helped you to get out of analysis by paralysis and take action, I'd love to know below in the comments. Comment below which one maybe you're going to try, hopefully. I'd love to see it, and love a like, a follow, a subscription, questions, DM me. And until next time, stay empowered and get out of analysis paralysis.